vaccines can cause any problems with fertility or any problems with trying to get pregnant.
To find COVID-19 vaccines and boosters near you, check out vaccines.gov.
Paid for by GovMint.com.
Have you heard? The United States Mint has issued the Morgan Silver Dollar for the first time in 100 years. Not only that, but they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 175,000 legal tender silver dollars were issued. These Morgan Silver Dollars are brand new, bright and shiny legal tender coins minted by the iconic Philadelphia Mint. Just call 1-800-973-3098 and you are guaranteed a new 99.9% pure silver Morgan dollar. The first time in history this has happened. But with limited quantities, you must call now to order. To learn more, call 1-800-973-3098. If you order now, you will receive a free collector bonus, a $25 value free with every order. Call 1-800-973-3098 now to secure your new Morgan Silver Dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-3098.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
I'm Doug Brown. It's Game 5 in the Eastern Conference Finals tonight for the Celtics and the Heat in Miami. The series is tied, and it's tough to know what to expect in this one. ESPN's Jeff Van Gundy believes these playoff games are unpredictable because of the increased reliance on the three-point shot.
You know, you can get on a great run, make 5 or 6 in a row, and it all looks good. And we talk about great ball movement. And then you can do the same exact movement of the ball, and you miss 5 or 6 in a row. And as media, we say they're settling.
Jeff Van Gundy on Bart and Hahn. Our coverage of the Heat and Celtics Game 5 starts at 8 Eastern on ESPN Radio, TV, and the app. In the Stanley Cup playoffs tonight, Game 5 for the Blues and Avalanche in Denver. Colorado will advance to the Western Final with a win. They lead the series 3-1. 42-year-old Panthers center Joe Thornton isn't sure if he'll be back for another season, which would be his 25th in the NHL. The Panthers were knocked out of the playoffs by the Lightning.
How would you love a chance to save some money on car insurance? Geico can help. Switch today and see all the ways you could save with great rates and discounts. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com to get a rate quote and get started seeing how much you could save.
Now your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, Bills. That's Bills. Enter it on our station website now.
And a welcome into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. Glad to see everybody once again. I'm glad that you didn't blow the station up while I was gone yesterday.
And
gentlemen.
it's really good to not have to be the one to do that because you're way better at it than I am.
Welcome, everybody, into the program. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app, seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click on that live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. Oh, let's see. What's going on in the sports world? I mean,
this might be the most unbelievably dull day in the history of sports. So we're going to try to give you some chuckles over the next 2 hours.
Right, exactly. I mean, everything is very, very serious right now in the bigger stories in the sports world. There's the Deshaun Watson fallout from the real time?
Real sports or something
whatever,
like that.
The interview
it's a show
series
that I don't watch. Yeah, so there's that.
The Soledad O'Brien interviews with the accusers of Deshaun Watson, or a couple of the accusers of Deshaun Watson. Lots of people reacting to that today. Obviously, the tragic shooting that happened at the elementary school in Texas yesterday. I believe the death toll now up to 21, as 19 children passed and 2 teachers as well. And lots
unbelievably sad story, and we will talk about that at the end of this program.
It's absolutely heartbreaking. But with all the seriousness going on, we like to bring a little bit of levity, and you want the serious stuff. You've got outlets to go to for that. We've got Cam Newton talk again. Yay, Carolina Panthers fans. You feel pretty good about that? Cam Newton still on the horizon.
You just can't stop doing it.
You just cannot close the door on the Cam Newton era for some reason. And then, of course, there's Sam Darnold believing that he could still be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. We got the Baker Mayfield stuff, Jimmy Garoppolo, all of that. We'll get into quarterback talk coming up in the second hour of the program. Last night, the Dallas Mavericks staving off elimination yet again in the playoffs. Luka Doncic he plays his best when he's got his back against the wall. And, of course, when the other guys on the team are hitting 23-pointers. It's kind of what I've been telling you the whole time. Like, Dallas is Luka Doncic and a bunch of dudes that could get hot at some point, but not really. I mean, that series still over. It's 3-1 Golden State lead. They're going back to the Chase Center for Game 5. We got the Brooklyn Nets. Not sure if they want to give give a long-term deal to Kyrie Irving, and for some reason, again, people are shocked by this. We got your Just a Bit Outside, your weird news, of course, both the gambling segments. We got the Green on Green at the end of this hour, 5 on it in the next hour, and of course, we've got the best franchise. Can I say that? The best franchise in the history of the NFL. I know.
Doing the things that you would expect them to do. But before we get into that, we have one thing that we have to settle today.
Okay.
Top Gun comes out on Friday.
Yes, Rockjaw. That is your pilot name.
I don't understand that one.
Because it sounds like you got rocks in your jaw.
Because I have TMJ, and so you're making fun of my disability.
Absolutely. Rockjaw. Bald.
So we have 4 finalists.
Okay.
The Ginger Ninja obviously had to be one.
Of course.
Mullet Hawk.
Mm-hmm.
Big fan of that one. Phoenix. I didn't understand it at first until it was explained.
Okay.
It's a double entendre. Phoenix is a bird, and said bird is as majestic as my flowing mullet.
Ah.
And then there's the one that I personally, if I was voting, this would be mine.
Oh, the Flyboy.
Flystradamus.
Flystradamus.
To me, that's the winner.
I like that. I am officially casting my vote for Ginger Ninja. That's my favorite nickname that you have, and it works. It works for everything.
I swear to you, I did not do this on purpose. Have you heard Josh Michael's story about Top Gun?
No.
For those of you that don't know, Josh Michael works here at iHeart with us. He is the morning show host on Star 104.3.
Yes.
And he has an obsession with Top Gun that is unparalleled in moviedom.
Mm-hmm.
So last night, he goes to see Top Gun. Movie he's been waiting for 2 years.
Right.
Dressed as Tom Cruise's character. They couldn't get it to play.
Oh, no.
They couldn't get the movie to play.
Oh, no.
And I knew something was up because I was at my house and I see Josh Michael going live. And I knew, because I do listen to that show sometimes in the morning, I knew he was going to see the movie last night.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this live started about 45 minutes after the show was supposed to start. And I went, nope. I figured he didn't get in.
No, there's no way that Josh Michael, star of stars,
and I'm not gonna lie, it crossed my mind, and then I went, no, that's something that would happen to the two of us.
My hope would have been, oh my gosh, he's been waiting for this for 2 years, and you know me, I love a dumpster fire. It was so bad he had to walk out 45 minutes into it.
That one crossed my mind too. But he told the story this morning. They couldn't make the movie work.
That's never good.
So he's just sitting in the theater like, yay,
so excited.
Nothing. I don't know that I've ever look.
It's like a New York Jets fan waiting on a playoff game.
I am well known to be a little unsympathetic to people.
Nothing for that.
And maybe heartless. I ignored it. Your team sucks too. You've had one run of Tom Brady. Okay, listen, Chuckles.
2 Super Bowls.
You didn't mean to the first time. You thank Brad Johnson. You can thank our buddy Brad Johnson for that. I don't know that I've ever, on something that dumb, felt that bad for another human. He does his show from home sometimes, right. And he was not here this morning. I don't know that I've ever wanted to just hug a person as much as I wanted to hug Josh. Like, it'll be okay.
Because it has been stumbling block after stumbling block after stumbling block for him to watch this movie.
It's like the cursed movie. It almost cannot live up to his lofty expectations.
Right.
and then he just got one more time.
That's no good. So I mean, does he get a makeup? Does he get to go tonight?
Apparently, they just refunded his money, and now he will be watching it with us normies when it actually comes out tomorrow night.
Gotcha. So it doesn't officially come out. So this was like the extra sneak peek screening.
Yes.
I feel like you owe me one on that one. You gotta pay me off a day later.
Have you ever been that excited for a movie?
I have never. Well, I mean, Heavyweights. I was really excited for Heavyweights. Yeah, like
that doesn't. I didn't even think of it before I asked it. If you're in
the only one.
it doesn't count.
Right, this is the only one that I've been like, I can't wait to see myself on the big screen.
And then your claim to fame was your Heine.
Yeah,
your Heine got as much face time as your face did.
Hey, you may recognize me from my work in the Camp Hope promotional video. But that's the only one that I've been super excited about. I mean, I can't even think of a franchise. Maybe the Harry Potter movies. Yes, I'm a nerd. I love the Harry Potter movies.
I'm obsessed with Batman. I've never been that amped for a Batman movie.
Right.
Put it this way. I was really hyped for the last one, and I was so hyped that I just completely forgot when it came out. And by the time I realized it was no longer in theaters anymore, and I had to watch it at my house.
The Batman.
Yeah,
which you hated.
Awful.
By the way.
Awful. Robert Pattinson, you're not allowed to be Batman anymore.
Second best Batman movie ever made.
And I'm convinced that if we all wait long enough, we will all get our shot to be Batman. Can't wait for mine.
I don't think that day's coming.
Gonna have to give a little slack in the midsection, or like the old Jim Brewer joke, I'll be Birdman because my ears point straight back.
All I can say is thank God for CGI.
And then you can call me the Mullet Hawk, which is currently winning our Jeremy's Top Gun call sign poll on the YouTube stream.
Is it really Mullet Hawk?
By a lot, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, by a lot.
So there's apparently only two of us that believe Ginger Ninja should be your nickname.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
All right. Well, yeah. Win some, you lose some. Speaking of, the Pittsburgh Steelers. They are one of the best franchises in the history of the NFL. There's no disputing that. They rank up there second in Super Bowl trophies. I think only the New England Patriots are ahead of them. And what they did today, or what they're getting ready to do, I don't think it's official yet. But Omar Khan.
Oh, no, it's official. It just came out about 30 minutes ago.
Okay, all right. So it is officially official. Omar Khan is being elevated from player development up to the GM role to fill in or to replace Kevin Colbert.
Colbert. It's Stephen Colbert, Kevin Colbert.
Well, his is Colbert too, but he likes to be fancy. You know he made that up, right?
I'm sure he did.
Okay, all right. Just so you know. Anyway, now Omar Khan is the GM of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and this is what good franchises do. Mm-hmm. They don't let go of great talent when they see it in their office.
And this is what I said would happen from the jump.
Unlike your 2021, 2022, 2023 NBA champion Denver Nuggets, who just can't afford – I mean, they can't afford to keep the guys that they have.
Well, it wasn't as much as I thought it was.
Oh, was it not?
Yeah, we lost Tim Donnelly yesterday. He went to the Minnesota Timberwolves for $40 million. Total.
Oh, total. Okay. He told me it was $40 million per year, and I went, that is a lot of scratch.
It was $40 million total, plus he got an ownership stake in the team. But the point with this is, this is why Pittsburgh's been good for so long. Mm-hmm. This is why you can count on one hand the number of times they missed the playoffs since 2000. Because, of course, that's what you do. Of course, that's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You have this way, and I didn't want to use that
way,
and I didn't want to use that because of the Patriot way. A day after I just ran them into the ground while you were gone.
Right.
You elevate a guy. You just drafted a quarterback. That's what good teams do.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to give you an example of what bad teams do, and I'm going to use my team because I literally watched this exact same thing happen with Mike McCagnon. The Jets did everything the same way. Go through the draft. And then you fired the GM a week later. That's why the Jets are the Jets, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't buy Kenny Pickett. I never have. I don't like the pick. I've never liked the pick. However, you kind of get the benefit of the doubt.
Sure.
In the last 50
How many
years, they've drafted less quarterbacks than I have fingers in a round that was higher than I think it's the 5th.
Mm-hmm. And
almost all of them have worked out.
And how many times have they have their picks busted? Like just flat out been god awful.
Not many.
Not many. I mean, the closest might be Devin Bush.
Oof, that was a bad one. Oof, that was a bad one.
Yeah, I mean, you drafted him top 10, and he ain't
you
been great.
traded up to get him.
Sure.
Yeah, you want to know you want to hear the list of linebackers that were rated worse than him according to PFF last year? You want to hear it again?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was bad.
Mm-hmm. But this is a franchise, much like the Baltimore Ravens, that we look at and go, these are the best teams that do more with what they have than everybody else.
And that's my point. And the tie into this is what we're going to open the 4 o'clock hour with. Sam Darnold thinks he can be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And I'm not going to lie to you, it's not as crazy as it sounds. It's not as crazy as it sounds.
I mean, it's going to be a no from me, dog. But
why?
Because we've seen it. Because you've had 4 years.
Okay, now let me conversely ask this question.
Mm-hmm.
If Sam Darnold was the starting quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers, would it be a little more believable?
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
But there again, I lean on the structure that they have in place, their record with player development. You don't see that in Carolina.
And that's the point. And now Carolina they're not one of the Jets of the league. It's been an ugly reign with Matt Rule.
Mm-hmm.
Hope is it gets better, or the year from now you can get back to the Ron Rivera days. But with Pittsburgh, you just give them the benefit of the doubt.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen you do this too many times. I at one point watched you. You weren't great, but you were good with Tommy Maddox as your quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because you keep stability in the room. It's one of the things I laugh about every year when I put out draft grades, which draft grades, off-season things, we'll have an announcement about those at the end of this hour and much bigger things. And we will have draft grades coming out over the Memorial Day weekend. But the thing that always made me laugh, or makes me laugh, is I look at things that teams do. And I talked about this yesterday with Mac Jones. If any other team in the league said, you know what, we're just not going to have an offensive coordinator. Well, you know what, somebody will call plays and we're not going to tell you who it is. We would talk about that every single day because it is absolutely preposterously stupid.
Indeed.
The reason we don't, Bill. And then you watch all of these other franchises, the Jets, the Jaguars, the Browns, just chasing your tail. You're like a dog chasing cars. You wouldn't know what to do with it if you caught it.
Batman reference.
What's a Batman reference? That was a good Batman movie that did not have Robert Pattinson in it.
That was the best Batman movie.
Without a doubt.
The Batman, number 2.
And you just look at how these smart teams, there's a reason they never fall. Pittsburgh was a team that I caught a lot of flack about. Like, how are they going to be this good? How are they above the Cardinals? Well, because one's the Cardinals and one's the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see the selection of Omar Khan, who was exactly who I told you it was going to be 6 months ago. When Kevin Colbert stepped down or announced that he was stepping down, I told you, and I said on this show, it's Omar Khan.
Yeah.
No doubt. They can do this for 6 months. And they came close. They did it for 4.
Mm-hmm.
I know exactly how it's going to end.
Yeah, that was always the plan. The plan was that Colbert was going to go through the draft, then he would step down as the GM. He's still probably going to stay on in an advisory role with the team.
Of which everybody's an advisor of something.
Are they?
Nah. Guys that are GMs, they're all advisors, and I've never actually figured out what they do. Like when you show up to work, what do you do? I'm an advisor. Does that mean you're playing Brick Breaker on your phone for like 6 hours?
Pretty much. And then when Omar Khan's got a question, you pick up the phone. That's
Kevin, where are the pens? I need pens. Desk drawer? Got it. Advisor.
Stability makes you one of the great franchises in the league, and we've seen this from use the example again, the Baltimore Ravens, to be able to go from the Ozzie Newsome years to the Eric DaCosta years of just you found the guy and we trust the process. There aren't that many organizations in the NFL that fall into that category.
Handful.
Right.
New England Patriots, Baltimore Ravens, Green Bay Packers, Pittsburgh Steelers.
I think you nailed it.
You get to 5 and you're like, it's just no one. Nope.
Right.
4 and out. Kansas City. It's a revisionist history.
For now, yeah. We'll see how they move on from this era.
But the point of this is, I want you to think about the dynamic between two players that are very similar. Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson wants a new deal. Wants to get paid. Limited thrower of the football. Super athlete. You've made the playoffs 3 times. You've won games in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
You've won an MVP. You have John Harbaugh and Eric DeCosta. Kyler Murray, he was the number 1 overall pick. More talented than Lamar Jackson, and I don't even think it's debatable.
Mm-hmm. Much better thrower of the football.
Never been an MVP. Only been to the playoffs once.
But he's got 2 Pro Bowls.
Got demolished in that one playoff game.
Right.
You have Cliff Kingsbury. You have Steve Keim. You're not going to be able to put the team around him that he needs. And that's the reason that I look at Baltimore and go, you know what? You would be one of my favorites to win a Super Bowl. And I look at Pittsburgh and go, you know what? I don't like your quarterback. I think you have a lot of holes on your roster, but you'll probably figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
I look at a talented Arizona team and go, yeah, you're probably going to go 6-11 because that's what you do.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. The Dallas Mavericks survived with their backs against the wall.
Made it rain.
Oh, they made it rain. Well,
literally.
I mean, they
literally made it rain.
Actually, they did. The second time that's happened. I wonder how Mark Cuban feels about his facility leaking for the second time in not too many months. We're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. We'll discuss that up next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, we've got some big rains on the Gulf Coast tonight, and they are working up from the southwest. Kind of a tropical feel to the weather patterns this week here in the southeast. We've got some 1.5 inch plus rains advertised for Asheville for Thursday. Heaviest rain Thursday afternoon, lunchtime on. 60 degrees with an isolated shower thunderstorm tonight. Rain and thunderstorms, some heavy downpours Thursday, high 68. Morning showers Friday, 74. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Critics are calling Taco Bell's Mexican Pizza the Musical a scrumptious little number. So tune in for the premiere on TikTok beginning May 26th at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And swing by a participating U.S. Taco Bell location to pick up a Mexican pizza because it's back, folks.
Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs, from quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options. Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Hey folks, DG here, asking you to give yourself the gift of Asheville Smiles here in 2022. Studies have linked untreated gum disease to heart disease, erectile dysfunction, systemic diseases, premature birth, joint issues, and much more. Everything is connected, and seeing a dentist every 6 months is important for your overall health. For top-notch dental care from Dr. Rebecca Merrill here in Asheville, call 828-251-2426 or AshevilleSmiles.com.
Some women have put off receiving the COVID-19 vaccinations and booster shots because they plan to become pregnant. We spoke with Dr. Dorothy Fink, Director of Women's Health in the Office of the Assistant Secretary for Health, to find out more about COVID-19 and pregnancy.
The COVID-19 vaccine is definitely recommended during pregnancy and breastfeeding, as well as if you're trying to get pregnant now or might become pregnant in the future. And the really good news is that we've studied the vaccine and it has not been associated with miscarriage or premature birth. The reality is that when you get COVID during pregnancy, the complications can lead to preterm deliveries and many other serious health conditions. And we encourage all to really think about this, because it's heartbreaking to think about a child who will not have their mom because she died because of COVID. And think about the vaccine. I know it's scary sometimes, you don't want to take anything right before pregnancy. Many times women think that, but this is something that can save your life.
To find COVID-19 vaccines and boosters near you, check out vaccines.gov.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
River Ridge Marketplace in East Asheville has been a staple of Buncombe County for generations, and now they're inviting you to their Spring Fling, May 28th from 11 to 4. There'll be food from their great restaurants such as Happy Cinco de Mayo, J&S Cafeteria, and many more. They'll also have sidewalk sales from their amazing vendors, snow cones, inflatables, and a petting zoo for the kids. So join me May 28th from 11 to 4 at River Ridge Marketplace.
Did you know Ingles only sells USDA Choice and Prime cuts of meat? Maybe it's time to reward yourself. Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, and yeah, it was kind of comical last night watching Mark Cuban just seething from every angle during the rain delay in his own arena during Game 4
of an NBA game.
There's
something you don't see very often: rain delay in an NBA game.
Well, it's the second time it's happened this season. In Dallas at American Airlines Arena. And, you know, everybody wants to make their jokes. Everybody's got jokes. We all have a voice on social media, and so everybody's got a meme that they got to put out there. Of course, it's the billionaire Mark Cuban with all his gobs of money, yet he can't fix a leaky roof.
Maybe somebody should go on Shark Tank with a solution to a leaky roof.
Right. Can he not get some Flex Seal?
That was my question.
Right.
I feel like, didn't you buy Flex Seal?
Unfortunately, the American Airlines Arena is owned and operated by the city of Dallas. And so I don't think obviously he has a lot of say in what happens there. The facilities manager probably wasn't the most comfortable of people today in the city of Dallas. But Luka Doncic felt pretty good because he finally got some help from his teammates.
And I watched last night, not intricately because, yet again, it was another blowout.
Yeah.
And spare me on Golden State almost came back. They were down by 30. Calm down, okay? Calm down. Am I the only one that thinks Golden State just went into last night and went, if we win, great. If not, we might just mail this one in.
Maybe so, but I don't know. Was the defensive intensity any different in this game than it
The starters
has
were
been?
horrid. I mean, horrid. And Steve Kerr had to be looking around at some point just going, you guys have checked out tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Because the reserves were fine. But that starting five was just absolutely awful. They're still going to win this series.
Right,
I've heard people all day long say, well, Dallas could still. No, they can't.
You threw all of your shade at the Boston Celtics when they swept the Brooklyn Nets, but it is hard. It is hard to sweep an NBA team in an NBA playoffs. So, here you're looking at a Dallas team that, like I said, Luka finally got help.
Well, this was a do-or-die game for them.
Shots.
This was a do-or-die game for them. And for Golden State, it was, it'd be nice to go ahead and get the series over with, but, we can wait a couple days and just do it in Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
And who cares? And that's exactly what it looked like. It looked like a team that just didn't have the intensity. Caleb Peake and I talked about this yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
These NBA playoffs have been absolutely ghastly terrible.
Yes.
Terrible. And you're going to have no heat going into the finals. Poor NBA. Adam Silver just can't catch a break.
You might have some heat.
You might have some Miami heat.
Right, exactly. You might have some heat going into the finals.
Pick on that game coming at the bottom of the hour.
We got, game 5 tonight, 2-2 series.
And we've just alternated, so I bet you can guess which side of tonight I'm on.
We got blowouts galore in the playoffs.
I asked him this yesterday, and I'm curious to know how close you can come to this. Do you know how long it's been since we've had a one-possession game in the NBA playoffs?
Oh, gosh. Do you have to go all the way back to that Boston-Milwaukee game?
It's 2 weeks. There have been NBA playoff games every night but one. Haven't had a one-possession game in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to die on this shield of, for the love of everything, shorten these series.
Exactly.
I don't need to see these teams play 43 times.
You add a little more urgency, maybe you get a little more competitive play out of it because you have situations like you had with the Golden State Warriors last night, or, dare I say, the Golden State Warriors in Game 5 of the Memphis series. Remember when they went back to Memphis and everybody's like, oh, this is over? And then
shelled.
Exactly. They got stomped by a Ja Morantless Memphis Grizzlies team in Game 5, and then they went back for Game 6 to the Chase Center and closed it out, which is exactly what I expect them to do coming up tomorrow night when they go back to the Chase Center for Game 5 of this series.
These series have just been like getting your teeth cleaned. Like, can this please be over? I'm tired of that noise. I'm tired of sitting here. Can we just get on with it?
And you feel that same way about Boston and Miami?
Boston and Miami may be playing coaches before this is all said and done. It's just gross. Everybody's hurt. None of these games have been really palatable to watch. And I'll be honest with you, I'm going to say something I never thought I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
I miss LeBron. I miss having somebody to just I'm not even rooting for anybody. I'm rooting against you. I miss that.
You can't root against Golden State?
No. There's nobody to hate. Yesterday, Caleb said Draymond Green. You mean the guy that's going to eventually replace Charles Barkley on inside the NBA? Yeah, I find it hard to root against that guy.
Right.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
With all the talk of NIL deals and Nick Saban throwing shade at Texas A&M and Jimbo Fisher snapping back at Nick Saban and all of that, we have a first ever in college football, a new political NIL deal.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what we need.
This is, I mean, it makes sense at this level. So, Tennessee Martin Sr. Dresser Wynn now has a political candidate as one of his name, image, and likeness agreements. It's a candidate for district attorney, which, I mean, that plays. These are the little deals that I was telling you, Jeremy, that, it's not going to move a needle on the national scale, but it's still going to mean something to these smaller school players to be able to pull in a deal like this. Now, what kind of influence the quarterback of Tennessee Martin has, I don't know that it's much. But maybe in that county, it's worth something. The 27th Judicial District of Tennessee, Colin Johnson, Wynn wrote he wants to thank him for coming out to his camp this weekend. Elections are in August, so make sure that you are registered to vote. We don't know how much money he's getting out of this, but I have to imagine it can't be a whole lot. I mean, a lot of these NIL deals have guys that, have hundreds of thousands of followers. Like Bryce Young's probably got 4 million followers and probably lowballing on that. I don't know what his number is.
Yeah, 25% of them are fake, according to Elon.
True. Well, if that's the case for Wynn.
By the way, Bryce Young has 55,000 followers.
Really?
On Twitter.
I would imagine that it was way more than that.
Which means he really has about 42,000.
Well, apparently, the Dresser Wynn, he has 1,300 followers on Twitter and 3,000 followers on Instagram. So I don't know what level of political clout he would have in the 27th Judicial District in Tennessee, but Here you go. Now an NIL deal's getting political.
Well, here's the thing. I have more followers than that on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and for the right number, I will support you.
Booyah.
It's not politics. I'm not doing it. I am not doing it. Unless the number's high enough. Speaking of things I'm not doing unless the number's high enough, the Florida Panthers are in a little bit of hot water, and it's thanks to a friend of the show named Pat Donovan. He is a radio personality in Tampa. Mm-hmm. He hosts a show, The Pat and Aaron Show, for iHeartRadio, just like we do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they had a story that gained a little traction yesterday that numerous Florida Panther players were reportedly seen partying at a gentleman's club until the wee hours of Monday morning on the same day that they had to play Game 4 to keep from being eliminated in the playoffs.
Yep.
If you're not a hockey fan, they did get eliminated. It was never close. And they have all said, we didn't actually do that. Their coach, Andrew Brunette, said those things, I guess, happen in our universe. Check your sources. That was not the case Monday night. Well, and that's fine, except Andy Slater, Miami-based reporter, and a security guard of the particular nightclub both confirmed that it was accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Why do that? Of all the places you can go, why go there? Because when you lose, it's going to become a story.
Because Jimbo Fisher did it. So Jimbo Fisher did it. It's okay for him to do it.
Lou Williams did it, too, and said he did it for the chicken wings. And I'm not going to lie. Been to that very strip club. They're
plausible.
Good. They're good wings. I said it during the coronavirus.
Could be plausible. You don't know.
Magic City, That's.
I know there are some people that are very upset by this, but.
Oh, I could care less. I just don't know why you would do it.
I don't either.
I also want to know. And we have a lovely House of Reprehensibles that are in our chat right now, and maybe somebody can explain this to me.
Mm-hmm.
Who goes to a strip club on a Monday? Why? Why do you do that?
Well, because they're
do
professional
you not have to
athletes.
work on Tuesday?
They're professional athletes, and they thought, hey, we might get mobbed by our tens of fans.
Oh, NHL shot at Sportsocracy ESPN. I just can't for the life of me. Where are you where you look at each other and go, hey, you know what we could do? We could go to that place in the warehouse district that had windows, pay like $9 a domestic beer.
I'm all for letting off some steam. Like if 100%. you're ticked off, you're down 0-3 in the series, and you've been doing the right things. Like you've been showing up to practice on time, you've been getting a good night's sleep, you're doing all that. You're like, you know what? We just need to go out and we need to have some fun. We need to kind of, regain some momentum here. Okay, first off, you don't do it until 3 o'clock in the morning. Like,
hey, I've been there.
I don't know. Is there not an early bird special or something at the
you would be the person that would
club?
ask that. Can I get 50% off if I show up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon? Here's my question. If you're a team that is down 3-0 because you can't score, why would you go to the one place that you know you can't score?
Oh, good for you.
Make them laugh.
Very nicely done.
Yeah, it happens every once in a while.
Nice.
Every once in a while, I have a joke that I can actually say into this microphone that is funny.
So the sources were checked, and yes, it was pinpointed that, quote, a lot of Florida Panthers went to the strip club on the night before they were supposed to play in Game 4, and they got spanked. Maybe something that didn't happen at the strip club.
But why do I not have a ba-dum-boosh? We're in there doing one-liners like we're at the Chuckle Hut.
Like Don Rickles over here.
Hey.
I don't know why I straightened my tie like I'm Rodney Dangerfield.
No respect.
Not the New York Nets, but the
Brooklyn
Nets, as they are so called. The Brooklyn Nets apparently on the fence about giving a long-term extension to Kyrie Irving. And again, I have to ask, who's shocked by this?
Nobody with an IQ above salad.
I mean, he's got a player option next year of $36.5 million, which he could opt out of to go to free agency. But I mean, maybe this is just my NBA ignorance here, because when it comes to NBA contracts, I feel like most of them are overpaid anyway. In that sport specifically. But how high is the market going to be on Kyrie Irving if he got? I mean, will he get a $36.5 million deal just right off the rip from somebody?
Absolutely. Because teams in the NBA are desperate for stars that move the needle, because there's just not a lot of them. There's not a lot of guys out there that move the needle. There's also a report out now that Kevin Durant has not spoken to the organization since their playoff series ended. Man, this marriage is going well, isn't it?
No, it's not.
It's going well.
I mean, look, all the warning signs were there. When you built the big three in Brooklyn, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, all of those names sound good individually. Together, they're a nightmare. And that's for somebody coming from somebody who doesn't do the X's and O's stuff in the NBA. Sounds great on paper. We've got these three megastars. Yeah, but none of them jive with each other.
No, I mean, and look around the playoffs. Is there a Kevin Durant left? No. Is there a Kyrie Irving even left? In terms of one-on-one ability?
No.
There's a Luka who's about to get swept out in 4, or in 5, excuse me. Then you get the Jason Tatums and the Jimmy Butlers.
Steph.
Oh, you mean the guys that can do multiple things? Oh, okay. This has always been, to me, the dirty little secret of the NBA. It's adorable that you have guys like Allen Iverson and Russell Westbrook and John Wall and Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, and I could literally do this through the commercial break. They never win.
You got bucket getters.
Oh, but Kyrie won a title. ... with LeBron.
Right.
Kevin Durant. ...
with the greatest
with
team
Steph
ever
and
assembled.
Clay and Draymond.
Right.
When your best player can't play dead in the Western defensively, you're in trouble. When your two best players can't do it, you're irrelevant. We went through this all year long. If I had $1 for every Nets fan that has been in our YouTube chat going, whoa, they're going to show you, I'll bet you anything you want to put on it. Any number that you want to put to charity. I'll do it with anybody. I'll do it for next year. I don't even know who's going to be on the team. I don't care.
But the former Defensive Player of the Year is coming back next year. Maybe.
Woo.
You think he's coming back?
And he will have not played in a full calendar year plus. Yeah, I'm good. And I think that's what Kevin Durant's doing. I think that's why I didn't talk to the team. Because he's looking around going, I'm stuck. I am as stuck as I could possibly be. And I think LeBron James does the same thing. There is no path here. Yeah, you can hire Doc Rivers. Who cares?
But I will sign up. If I am the front office of the Brooklyn Nets, I will 100% sign up for Kevin Durant and what I think Ben Simmons can be long term. I'm not signing up for Kyrie long term. He already caused me a problem this past offseason. And then what was the first thing that he said after they were bounced from the playoffs by the Boston Celtics was, oh, me and KD are running the show. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
He's like, we're the ones calling the shots. We're going to look at it and see how we can build this team. And team president, owners, on down the line.
Sean Marks went.
What the?
We?
My job. My job, not your job.
He full went Uncle Phil from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We?
Right.
We? There's no we here. You got a mouse in your pocket? There's no we here.
Right.
But here's the problem. What are you going to do? You let him walk? The Phoenix Suns have this exact same problem.
Might as well.
DeAndre Ayton. This has been everywhere today. The Suns don't believe that any center in the league is worth $30 million. What are you going to do? Let him walk? You let DeAndre Ayton hit free agency, I promise you, there are 3 teams that have max level cap space. They will all 3 offer him a max deal, and they will make you match it. You're stuck. There's nothing yet. This is the one of the patent flaws of the NBA. Once you draft a guy, so long as they're not just absolutely awful, nowhere for you to go.
No trade value?
On which one are you talking about? Which of
the
guys?
For DeAndre.
I think they could probably offer him up to Utah for Rudy Gobert because I think Utah will take anything for Gobert that will satiate Donovan Mitchell. and get them even a reasonable talent back. But, I mean, do you feel any better about that? Oh, now I have Rudy Gobert. Tremendous. Oh, you mean another guy that can't shoot from beyond 4 feet?
Right.
Sweet.
But do you not like him better than DeAndre Ayton?
I think they're very similar players with a slight difference.
Mm-hmm.
And you just look at this and go, you know, it's weird. What teams are relevant every single year? Boston, Milwaukee, Golden State, minus the year that they were completely killed injury-wise.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same teams, lather, rinse, repeat. Miami's in the Final Four of the East every single year. Do they get to the finals every year? No. Then you look at a Nets team. Hey, look at all our flashy new toys. And swept in the first.
Mm-hmm.
Swept in the first, and it was really never in doubt.
And yet again, they find themselves as the overall favorites to win the NBA title next year.
And you want me to, and I'm going to say this as nicely as I can. That's because there is a percentage of people in this country that are stupid. And that's about everything.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to betting the NBA, Vegas knows people will do it because they have 3 big names on the marquee. And you don't care. You don't watch the games. That's how Brooklyn ends up there. If anybody with the basketball IQ of a cup of Hidden Valley salad dressing watch that team, you have no solution here. There's no fix. All right, so you're bringing in Ben Simmons. Who cares? He does 2 things well, defend, and the same thing Kyrie Irving does.
Mm-hmm.
And Kyrie can't play off the ball. All right, so how do you fix that? You can't, because nobody wants Ben Simmons. He's radioactive at this point. And I would argue Kyrie Irving's worse. The only player that – I'm going to say something that's going to be really unpopular with people that like the Nets. The Nets are the L.A. Lakers minus about 4 years. That's the only difference. It's the only difference. You have one younger superstar that's younger than all the rest of them that's hurt all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You have an aging superstar that can no longer do it by himself. And you have in your case, he's much younger than the other one, an albatross contract that nobody wants. You see how that describes Brooklyn and L.A. perfectly?
Absolutely.
Oh, and you have a coach that it doesn't move the needle in the least.
Right. But you still have to maintain the faith. You're in that position that the L.A. Lakers are in.
Mm-hmm.
Of you still have to maintain the faith. You still have to pay the lip service to the fans of we can make this happen.
Yeah, because you don't want to trot out a team like Oklahoma City.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to do that because people won't buy tickets. In the NBA, that matters. I've always laughed at you when you say those things to me about the NFL because they don't care. Right. Jacksonville Jaguars can trot out a hot dumpster fire. Still 80% of people in seats.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least the tickets were paid for.
Right.
And the thing that's comical to me about the league is that you have all of these problems. You have all of these talent problems. And the latest story out is as soon as the media deal expires, they're going to bring in 2 expansion teams in Seattle and Las Vegas. I've heard it for weeks. I just finally saw somebody report it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, talk about
that's what we need more of.
Yeah,
more NBA.
Yeah, because now we'll have legitimately. I mean, think about all of the guys that Oklahoma City put on the floor this year, and now think about adding 2 more teams to that, where you're going to have a whole nother what is that? 35, 40 guys.
It's 15 per roster, so you got 30 across 2 teams.
You got 30 guys that are going to be added to this league. Look at the G League.
Awful.
It's
awful.
It's horrible.
It is more palatable to watch the USFL than it is to watch the G League, and it's not even close.
Wow. Expansion in the NBA is a bad idea.
Now, putting a team in Seattle, I'm in favor of. It should just be, I don't know, let's go with the New Orleans Pelicans. Oklahoma City draws. They draw, and they're horrible. Sacramento Kings.
Mm-hmm. Found them. What'd you do with the bell?
It's too far. I can't reach it. I'll fix it in the commercial break.
Yeah. Speaking of the commercial break, we'll do that in just a second. But first, we're going to tell you about about PhD Weight Loss. MyPhDWeightLoss.com is the website if you need to change your life. 24 weeks into this program, I've lost over 66 pounds. I am slimming down, getting ready for the warmer weather, and more importantly, I don't feel so tired anymore. I used to have these horrible back pains because the extra weight was weighing me down. I always used to have this hunch in my back that I never really – I just always lived with it because I've always had a weight problem. 66 pounds down now. I'm standing up straighter. My back doesn't hurt anymore, and I'm finding myself able to get more active.
I am within single-digit numbers of the lowest weight I've been at since I was able to drive a car. I've always had sleep problems. I've had a lot of issues that were all due to my weight. That was what I said when I got on PhD. I'm not even necessarily trying to get to a super low weight. I want to get comfortable, I want to be healthy, and I want to be able to sleep better. Just half a year into this program, and I'm already there. Within single digits of my target weight, and it's all thanks to the food and program at PhD Weight Loss.
It is a championship-level program, and, champions recognize champions. PhD Weight Loss is the official weight loss program of the Clemson Tigers and their fans. Check them out at myphdweightloss.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
iHeartRadio Earth is here with little tips for a healthier planet. This spring, you can share your own observations about nature with scientists and play a critical role in scientific discovery by adding to their data collection. Discover more about citizen science programs such as monitoring weather, observing plants and animals, and more. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/Earth.
Big news from PhD Weight Loss, the program that's been helping the Sportsocracy lose pounds and discover a new, healthier us, is proving its championship-level results. It's now the official weight loss program of the Clemson Tigers and their fans. Coach Sweeney said it's only unthinkable if you don't think it. I never thought results like losing more than 50 pounds in 4 months was possible, but PhD's all-in approach has made a believer out of me.
Since starting with PhD Weight Loss, I've dropped back down to my high school weight, but the best part may be the effect on my sleep. The weight loss has helped me experience restful sleep for the first time in a long time.
We've seen the results, and now PhD's program has been validated further as the official weight loss program of the Clemson Tigers and their fans. With PhD, you get a 5-star commitment to you and your success. Book a consultation with one of their Hall of Fame health coaches today at myphdweightloss.com. That's myphdweightloss.com.
Straight Talk Wireless now has the new iPhone 13 with cinematic mode, which lets you focus on what matters. And with Straight Talk, you can focus on getting the best deal. Our Silver Unlimited plan is just $45 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. And it runs on the largest, most dependable networks, now with nationwide 5G. With the iPhone 13 on Straight Talk, you can share whatever you want, wherever you want. Straight Talk Wireless. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Welcome to Allstate, where we bring it all together. And bundling your home and auto is good, right? And it saves you up to 25%. It all comes together. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Bundled savings discounts will vary by state. Saving up to 25% is a countrywide average of savings off the home policy. Combining the multiple policy discount for having auto insurance with Allstate and the welcome discount savings at enrollment.
Want to win $1,000? Well, we hope you've trained those fingers to spring into action. Every hour from 9 to 5 weekdays. Listen for the keywords, then enter them on our website for your chance to get $1,000 in your hand.
Brought to you by Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram and Friendship Nissan.
Hey, auto mechanics, are you underpaid? Get what you're worth at Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram and Friendship Nissan in Forest City. Get a higher flat rate, a 40-hour guarantee based on your experience, plus a sign-in bonus. Apply online at Friendship Nissan and Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram in Forest City.
Coffee's the closers only.
Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
Aha! 3-1 last night has me back to 2 games over 500 for the year, which means we're getting closer to profitable. 4 picks tonight. There's only 2 games because there's only one NHL game. There's only one NBA game. So we'll go both sides of each. First, the Colorado Avalanche are a minus 260 favorite against the Blues. Over-under goals is 6.5. I don't know a lot about hockey. I'm learning as I go and enjoying every second of it. But here's what I've learned. When your goalie's not playing, that's a bad sign for you. Right. And you're probably going to give up a lot of goals. Give me the Avalanche minus 260 over 6.5. The Miami Heat are a 2-point dog tonight at home against the Boston Celtics. Over-under is 204. This is one of those games that probably determines the series because I don't think either of these teams are going to win 2 back-to-back games in the entire thing. So that means I'm taking the Miami Heat plus the 2. I don't think it's all that close, but over 204.
Go and do likewise, gents. The money's out there. You pick it up, it's yours. You don't, I got no sympathy for it.
As always, take your wagers to betus.com. Use the promo code Sportsocracy and get a 125% deposit bonus on whatever you put in, up to $2,500. A lot of potential for free play money at betus.com.
Dirty Turkish back flat. I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. Back flat.
Let the hate flow through you.
Well, I guess this is the opposite of mad.
Okay.
Because I'm not mad.
So she'll be happy.
Well, that was what it's supposed to be, but apparently you can't read the board just by my head. Since we started doing this, we have figured out that there are a ton of people all over this country that do what we do, and they have great takes. The difference is they don't have an ESPN radio platform like we do. We have been trying to figure out, well, how can we help? We've watched the Joe Rogan model, because that's what Joe Rogan did with his show. He took all of these comedians that were confined to California and nobody could see them, put them on screen, and, well, now he's Joe Rogan. So we're going to do the same thing. I have been working behind the scenes doing things with some of these podcasters, and I have an idea that is going to debut next week after Memorial Day. It's called Mullet and Friends. Has a very West Virginia-looking logo that you could assume is designed by me. And there's a slew of people, armchair commentary that you see in the comments of this show, sports and culture media from down the mountain in Greenville, ASAP Network from Texas that has a ton of people. They're going to be on with us, giving their takes. They have specific teams. So if you get tired of hearing about the Jets and the Bucks or the 2022 NBA champion Denver Nuggets and our teams, well, they pull for your teams. And we're going to be doing these things every day. It's going to be a different hodgepodge of people. We're very excited about this. And it will be debuting next week with some extra content, all kinds of things. Basically, we're going to be the most oversaturated 2 humans on the planet. The only difference is you'll never exactly know who the person on the other side is. We're hoping it will branch you out into their wonderful content that we already consume. And we hope it'll just, continue us on our path of growing in righteousness.
Excellent. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go to the sportsocracy.com, click on that live video link, get into the chat, as well as direct access to all of the extra content that comes out on this here channel. We'll talk some football coming up after Sports Center.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
We've got some big rains on the Gulf Coast tonight, and they are working up from the southwest. Kind of a tropical feel to the weather patterns this week here in the southeast. We've got some 1.5 inch plus rains advertised for Asheville for Thursday. Heaviest rain Thursday afternoon, lunchtime on. 60 degrees with an isolated shower thunderstorm tonight. Rain and thunderstorms, some heavy downpours Thursday, high 68. Morning showers Friday, 74. I'm meteorologist Scott Laria Moore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Finding a great hire can be a challenge. That's why there's Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 toward your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
O'Reilly. This is Sarah's O'Reilly Auto Parts story.
Driving cross-country with 2 young children is ambitious, to say the least. Then our check engine light came on. We pulled into O'Reilly Auto Parts and they tested it. Turned out it was a faulty sensor. They referred us to a great mechanic just down the street and we were back on the road in no time.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Sharing sides is good. Getting enough so you don't have to, that's finger licking good. Choose 3 large KFC sides, like secret recipe fries or creamy mac and cheese with 8 pieces of tenders or fried chicken when you get KFC's Side Lovers Meal. Order now on the KFC app. Prices and participation may vary.
What's up? I'm 7-time NBA champion Robert Horry.
And I'm former NBA writer turned podcaster Jabari Davis. And we're excited to introduce our new podcast, NBA Finals File. Each week, we will deep dive into one of the greatest NBA Finals series of all time and examine the moments and storylines that made NBA history. And we will do it with a man who knows all about finals.
Open for 3. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
Check out NBA Finals File on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Win in Game 4 to tie the Eastern Conference Finals at 2 each. Jason Tatum of the Celtics says his team can't relax tonight at the start of Game 5. Safe to say Heat coach Eric Spoelstra wants a better start from his team, too.
We didn't do things with great intention after that first trigger. We just kind of settled in and just took the first available contested shot. And against, a great defense like they have, or conversely, against us, if you fall prey to that, you're going to feel like you're in quicksand.
Eric Spoelstra, Game 5 coverage, Heat and Celtics starting at 8 Eastern on ESPN Radio, TV, and the app. A judge in Nevada denies the NFL's motions to dismiss John Gruden's lawsuit against the league and send it to arbitration. The lawsuit accuses the NFL of leaking Gruden's emails that contained racist, anti-gay, and misogynistic language. Twins rookie right-hander Joe Ryan goes on the COVID-19 injured list today. Rockies outfielder Chris Bryant goes back on the injured list today.
Feeling great starts with a great shave. And great shaves start with Barbasol Shaving Cream. And for a limited time only, capture your Barbasol Jurassic World collector cans before they're gone.
Now your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Work. That's work. Enter it on our station website now.
Log on to ESPNABL.com.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets.
And we come to you live, as always, from the Ingles Studio. Ingles Supermarkets, low prices, love the savings. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. This is the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, and, of course, heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app, live or on demand. Take us with you everywhere you go, and seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click on the live video link, hit the subscribe button, join us in the chat, get all of the perks of, just being our friend. And we appreciate you. Just wanted to throw that out there. It is time to talk about the one topic that will not go away in the state of North Carolina. Or I guess it's 2 states, 1 team. South Carolina, too. The Carolina Panthers and Cam Newton. We can't quit each other. And I think that is absolutely ridiculous. Cam Newton, to me, proved last year he's not even a guy anymore. He's a name. He's a name. He's a brand. Does it work locally? Only with about 32%, if that, of the fan base now. Because from what I have seen, and if Panthers Twitter is any judge, yes, you still have those crazies. You still have those that are like, oh, Cam Newton, he just needs a shot. And then the rest of you are on our side going, Cam Newton doesn't have it anymore.
And that narrative sounds really familiar. Breaking news.
Ooh. Where's my button? There it is.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
You have no idea what I'm getting ready to say, dude.
No clue. I haven't heard this.
The Las Vegas Raiders have scheduled a workout with Colin Kaepernick.
Oh, Lord. Good luck.
Has not played in the league since 2016.
Good luck with that.
Will work out this week for the Las Vegas Raiders.
Hey, man, if he's still got something and he's willing to be the backup, because we know he's not going to compete for the starting job.
And here's this literally Adam Schefter has tweeted this within the last 60 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And it could not have been any better timed. Because I'm going to ask the same question about Colin Kaepernick, Cam Newton, Baker Mayfield that I asked about Tim Tebow. Put them on a total talent. Where would you put them among quarterbacks in the world?
In the world?
Mm-hmm. Among quarterbacks that could physically play in the NFL. Take out the college guys, obviously.
Okay.
Among players, the Las Vegas Raiders are looking for a backup quarterback. Where would you put all of this? Because for me, they're all in the same, other than Tebow, they're all in the same probably 3 to 5 range.
And tiers?
Yeah, they're about 35 to 40.
Phew.
Somewhere in that neighborhood.
First, the question would be, how many tiers do you have?
Oh,
Tim Tebow would be in the last one.
Yeah, Tim Tebow didn't count. He's somewhere between me and
Johnny
Ricky
Manziel.
Wild Thing Vaughn.
I mean, for me, it would be Baker Mayfield first, and then it would be Cam Newton some distance behind him.
See, to me,
Colin Kaepernick.
To me, they're all together.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I would say they're all between 35 and 40 among NFL quarterbacks. Here's the difference. Who's around them? Jacoby Brissett, Case Keenum, Josh Johnson. There's a lot of guys in that range. You know what all of them have in common? Nobody's clamoring for them to start.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Mangini went on The Herd with Colin Cowherd today and said, the Browns should hold on to Baker Mayfield. See what they can get, because the team's going to get desperate.
And they will.
For Jimmy Garoppolo.
Mm-hmm.
Or Sam Darnold.
Yeah, Sam Darnold,
when I said that, you looked at me and went,
well, he's not available.
No. If Carolina's talking about Cam Newton, which, who wants you to know that? He could be had. And which would you rather do?
He's not.
Which would you rather do? Would you rather sign Colin Kaepernick? Would you rather trade for Baker Mayfield or make a run at Sam Darnold?
Oh, it would be Sam Darnold.
And it's not even close to me. You know why? Because no matter what happens, do I know he can be a serviceable starter? Yeah. I feel that way about every guy I've just said.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is there's not that 25% of the fan base that thinks they're one shot away from being the MVP.
Right.
They all have that in common. That's a big problem. And that's the reason that Baker Mayfield is radioactive. What I do not understand is how many times does this have to happen where people take every narrative you could possibly take of why these guys don't get a shot? Oh, why is nobody, Colin Kaepernick can't get a shot. Nobody wants Cam Newton. Nobody wants Baker Mayfield.
First off, how many teams has Colin Kaepernick worked out for? I mean, isn't this about the 5th time it's happened in the last 2 years?
No, this is the first one that I look at and go, yep, that's the first time I've seen a team directly attributed to you.
Oh, sure.
He worked out with the Seahawks. I do know that.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with any of these other things you want to make this about. It's all about the public narrative. And the public narrative is, we're bringing this guy in to be a backup. That is what you're here for.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I want the backup that the media wants to interview? Think about every good team in this league. Name me. You have no idea where I'm going with this.
No.
Name any good team. First good team that comes to your mind.
Green Bay Packers.
Who's the backup?
Jordan Love.
You ever seen him do media availability?
No.
Not one time. I would wager 99.999% of NFL fans don't even know what his voice sounds like.
Nope.
And do you know why? Because why would I want my backup quarterback talking to the media ever?
Right.
No good could come from that.
Mm-hmm.
So why would I not just look at a guy like Josh Johnson that's been on 47 teams and go, yep, I'm going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do that. And yet somehow we just keep going on this vicious cycle. Cam winds up somewhere. Kaepernick doesn't. And I'll be honest with you, it's the Raiders, so I can't tell you definitively that nothing's going to come of this. I would opine that nothing will come of this.
Mm-hmm.
Because you think Cam Newton didn't make sense in New England? This is the same offense. Colin Kaepernick makes less sense in New England. Or in Las Vegas, excuse me. If you would have told me every team in the NFL, who is the least likely to bring Kaepernick in for a workout, the Raiders would have been in my top 5.
Okay.
Because it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. That does not play to his strengths.
Right.
And by the way, these are strengths that I'm going off of 60 years ago. I just don't get it. Why is it that the public narrative cannot quit any of these guys? The NFL has made this as perfectly clear to you as they possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
You can be a quarterback. You can be a backup quarterback in this league for 1 billion years. Let me ask you a question. What does Josh Johnson's voice sound like?
No clue.
No idea.
He could talk like...
What does Chad Henne's voice sound like?
Couldn't tell you.
He looks like Sling Blade.
Right.
I know that much because he has a very prominent brow.
Right. He could only speak in beeps like Beaker from the Muppets, and we would...
No
who
clue.
cares?
No clue. That's what these teams want. They want a backup quarterback that if something happens to my starter, the fan base will go, well, this guy can come in and win games.
Well, the question becomes, what do you have to gain?
That's always been my question.
What do you have to gain from this? And I'll go back to Seattle. Well, Seattle giving Colin Kaepernick a tryout. And
that one would have actually made sense to me, to be really honest with you.
I mean, is he better than what they have now?
Geno Smith, yes.
Better than Drew Lock?
I'm probably not the person to ask that because I absolutely laugh at the fact that Drew Lock's even still in this league.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody could possibly have faith in him.
But, I mean, 5 years on the bench, away from the game, you feel like Colin Kaepernick is better than Drew Lock.
I feel for what he would do, they're going to be very similar.
Okay.
This would be just like it was in San Francisco. You're not going to ask him to go out and throw the ball 45 times.
Right.
Another thing that doesn't make any sense to me is that's exactly what Josh McDaniels is going to ask Derek Carr to do. So that part of it doesn't make even an iota of sense to me. But this gets into this is the hard knocks theory. You ever notice the teams that do hard knocks? They're almost always bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because good teams do not want that noise around their team.
Right.
Because no good can cover. There's no positive here. Because this is exactly what would happen. And I'm going to lump the Cam Newton, I'm going to lump the Baker Mayfield, I'm going to lump the Colin Kaepernick all together. You know what that will do? It will bring in TMZ. It will bring in, I don't know, Time Magazine and all of these people that do not talk about the NFL. And it's just noise.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a backup quarterback. I don't think anybody with you know what? There are people that believe birds are real. So I can't say that nobody will believe what I'm getting ready to say. Nobody thinks you're going to unseat Derek Carr.
No.
You're bringing this guy in as either, most likely as a camp arm. We did this twice with Tim Tebow, once in Jacksonville, once with the Jets. And I can tell you, as somebody lived through the latter, it was a disaster. Because that was all anybody wanted to talk about. Why would you take the focus off your franchise for a guy that's a fringe roster candidate anyway?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll go into something that just happened. The NFL draft. The NFL draft just happened.
Mm-hmm.
How many guys did I tell you on day 3 the reason they didn't get drafted was either medical, personality, or just some kind of red flag?
Quite a few.
Red flag is a very wide term.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying they're all bad. I'll tell you right now, there were a couple guys that went lower in the draft than you would think because they had outside interests. One of them was a dancer, and he went lower in the draft because they were afraid he wouldn't play as long because he had outside interest.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what the outside interest is. That's what nobody wants to listen to because they want to make these things so much more grandiose than they are. I want my backup quarterback. I'm going to steal the way you said that is the funniest way I've heard it said, and so I'm just going to go with it from now on. The backup quarterback could literally speak in beeps. That's how I want this to go.
Right.
I don't want to know anything about my backup quarterback except that he can come in and be reasonably competent in the event that something happens to my quarterback. Now, that broke right before this segment, so now where I actually started this. The dichotomy of these two stories in Carolina breaking on the same day of Sam Darnold doing media availability saying, I think I can be one of the best quarterbacks in the league. The same day that Scott Fitterer will not close the door on Cam Newton, and all of these little leaks come out of, well, we're going to bring in Cam Newton.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the win? What is the win in that?
No clue.
Best case scenario. You saw how just unbelievably horrid he was last year. Let's say he gets back to the New England form behind this line.
Mm-hmm.
What do you expect to be? 5-12? Is that your best case scenario?
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to do this to Sam Darnold and to Matt Corral, by the way. The guy that you just took in the third round, traded up to go get. What sense does that make?
To me, with the Carolina stuff, I mean, have we heard Scott Fitterer say that?
He said something to the effect of he wouldn't close the door on anything.
Right.
Close the door!
Because he was asked about it by the media, and the media is the one pushing this narrative.
Because he won't shut it down. He wouldn't shut it down last year, and what happened? He wound up on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
It would be better for you to bring me in to be the third-string quarterback, who's going to do nothing but throw 5-yard outs and heaters at all the heaters.
But is that a fan thing? I mean, you always say this about.
If it is, you should force him to sell the team right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I seriously mean that.
Right.
If you're going to do this again, after you've already seen it, this is the same story.
You just know that there are some people in your fandom that will not let it go. And
that's why you have to shut it down.
But if you do that, you alienate those fans. And
Who cares?
And they're not willing to do that.
Who cares? You alienate those fans. Who cares? You know how many
The
times I've
Carolina
heard people
Panthers
say
did.
to me, "Oh, I'll never watch the NFL again." Weird. Come week 4, you know what they're doing? They're in my DMs on Twitter going, "Hey, I have Justin Jefferson and Cooper Kupp. Who should I start in my fantasy lineup this week?" It's weird. It's the same guys that I see. I'll never watch it again. I bet you will.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, that's fine. Stick to your principles.
But
It's all about it.
Is this inexperience? Is this having an inexperienced owner who won't take that chance? I mean, because you can look at it from the outside of see all the things around David Tepper as the owner. And maybe this is a Scott Fitterer deal, but I'll say it. I said it last year and I'll say it again. I don't believe that. I don't believe Scott Fitterer, who I believe to be a smart football guy,
as do I,
is making these decisions. Last year when they brought Cam Newton in, I said it then and I'll say it now. I think this is from on top. This is from David Tepper.
And if it is, you have much bigger problems than you thought you did.
Well, look at all the noise around this organization. Ever since David Tepper took over this team, it's been a disaster. I mean, you've had people on social media talking about how the Jerry Richardson days were the salad days of this. And I'm not saying they weren't, but even how that ended is better in some people's minds than what we have right now with David Tepper, because you had the Matt Rule signing. You had, obviously, the way the quarterback position has gone since Cam Newton left. Maybe it's all tied back to Tepper. And maybe it's his inexperience as an owner. I mean, I feel like he should have learned something as being a part owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers, one of those great franchises that we were talking about in the first hour.
And it's weird. Think about every team you've heard attached to every player I've said in this segment. You ever heard Pittsburgh attached to him?
No.
It's weird. They needed a quarterback as desperately as any team in the league.
Mm-hmm.
as badly as any team in the league. What did they do? They went
old Mitch Trubisky.
They went and got Mitch Trubisky, who, oh, by the way, was a top 3 pick in the draft, and I guarantee you don't know what his voice sounds like.
Right.
Because, okay, so we draft a rookie. He sits behind him. If the rookie's terrible and he has to start, we're fine. If he's the backup, he's not going – nobody's going to ask him what he thinks. Nobody's going to ask him about how he feels about the team, and there is absolutely no noise around him. That's the problem. That's the reason that none of these things have ever made sense to me. And yet, there are times with these 4 guys specifically, I feel like I'm in a NASCAR race. Of every time we get far enough away I feel like, okay, we're done.
Right.
We cross the backstretch, hit turn 3, and here we're getting closer again.
Come right back.
And it's just keeps happening.
Yep. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Cam Newton.
Somebody bring in Tim Tebow. Let's get them all together. Let's just roll with it and give us something to talk about for the next month.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, we've got some big rains on the Gulf Coast tonight, and they are working up from the southwest. Kind of a tropical feel to the weather patterns this week here in the southeast. We've got some 1.5 plus rains advertised for Asheville for Thursday. Heaviest rain Thursday afternoon, lunchtime on. 60 degrees with an isolated shower thunderstorm tonight. Rain and thunderstorms, some heavy downpours Thursday, high 68. Morning showers Friday, 74. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slowing 26 westbound west of Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. On the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, traffic volume busy and steady. Smoky Park Highway, no incidents. Patton Avenue, no problems. New Leicester Highway moving well. Merriman Avenue, no delays, and Biltmore Avenue, problem-free. Hendersonville Road, no backup. Sweeten Creek Road northbound from the Royal Pines area to Mills Gap Road, some delays. Checking the drive time from Bend Creek to Avery Creek via NC 191 southbound. Drive time 10 minutes. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Tyson Furniture.
Tyson Furniture has a fantastic selection of quality furniture, honest values, and great service. We deliver weekly to Tennessee, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. Visit us at Tyson Furniture in Black Mountain, where beautiful homes begin.
As cases of COVID-19 continue to decline, American women are finally able to focus on more commonplace health issues. We spoke with Dr. Dorothy Fink, Director of Women's Health in the Office of the Assistant Secretary of Health, about everyday women's health.
I will say that even on the busiest of busy days, taking the time to schedule the mammogram or schedule whatever screening it is so important. Taking the time to do that is so key, especially when you have great data from your own family history that it can empower you to think about your health. Just committing to small things like that, to say, I know my family history and I'm going to do this because I know this could change my future, and being around for my family in the future is something that really inspired me to get that mammogram.
To find COVID-19 vaccines and boosters near you, check out vaccines.gov.
You're invited to The Gathering at Paint Rock Rock Farm on June 3rd through 5th in Hot Springs, North Carolina for 3 days of music, camping, nature, and adventure. Live music includes performances from Two Bob Crew and more. More info and tickets available at gathering@paintrockfarm.com.
Welcome to Allstate, where we bring it all together. And bundling your home and auto is good, right? And it saves you up to 25%. It all comes together. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Bundled savings discounts will vary by state. Saving up to 25% is a countrywide average of savings off the home policy. Combining the multiple policy discount for having auto insurance with Allstate and the welcome discount savings at enrollment.
Now is the time to get in the driver's seat of your career. Ingles Markets is looking for new regional drivers to join our Land to Sky distributors fleet. Start with 2 weeks paid time off and paid holidays. Our drivers average over $80,000 per year, and they're home every week. Landesky offers excellent pay and a great benefits package. 6 months of CDLA driving experience is required to apply. Visit ingles-markets.com/careers to know more. That's ingles-markets.com/careers.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
The Sportsocracy.
You're just dumber than a bag of hammers.
Back in the Ingles Studio here on ESPN Asheville. Don't forget to go to thesportsocracy.com. Click on that live video link. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like the video. All those things. We greatly appreciate it. And you subscribe to the channel. That gets you into the chat where we have wonderful people who comment and say things like, Tyler Cunningham, I have a question for Panthers fans. Why do you want Cam to come back? I understand Sam Darnold is Flat Stanley, but why?
I don't know what Flat Stanley means, but I laughed at it regardless.
I will show you Flat Stanley when we're done with this segment, and you will laugh hilariously. It's a children's book about a kid who's basically made of paper. Yeah. And
he does look like a Lego fireman.
He does look like a 2D Lego fireman, does Flat Stanley, and as does Sam Darnold. So I got a kick out of that with two kids of my own, one who may not live to see the rest of the day. But that's beside the point.
Don't admit that. Admitting that is a bad idea.
No, I can't.
Tomorrow the show will be brought by just me. Jeremy has to figure out buttons because he doesn't know which ones to push.
Every person that has a child understands the feeling that I have right now of you can't keep it together for another hour before Daddy gets home. Just come on, man. Anyhow, we're talking quarterbacks here, and Jimmy Garoppolo is a big topic of discussion today because apparently there's still the discussion of what are we going to do? What are the 49ers going to do with Jimmy Garoppolo? Last time you and I talked about this, Jeremy, we were both under the impression of did they just need to hang on to him as an insurance policy for Trey Lance?
Well, and I'm not sure that that's not still the rationale.
I think it should be. I think at this
point. Not, but it's never going to be what they say out loud.
No.
Because if a trade presents itself, you have to go down this path.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me just ask a theoretical question. Is he not the most attractive quarterback on the market by quite some ways? And I don't mean
100%.
And I don't mean that weird thing where we put long hair on all the quarterbacks and that trended on Twitter because we're weird people when the coronavirus shut down happened.
As a man, as a woman, it doesn't really matter. He is the most attractive.
As a quarterback, he's certainly the most attractive.
100%.
The problem is he doesn't have anywhere to land.
Yeah.
I mean, he never has.
Again, they're
so
not
for San Francisco, you have to keep saying these things. And no matter what John Lynch says, no matter what Kyle Shanahan says, it's going to make headlines.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, why do you keep saying anything? Why do you not just look at the media and go, you know what, we're figuring that out as we're figuring it out as we go along. All right? The surgery, it didn't do us any favors. And when I got something to tell you, I'll tell you something.
Well, that's pretty much what he's doing, but he's putting it in a way that the media can grab it and go, oh, see, he's still on the trade market. Well, of course he's on the trade market. That was the whole plan. The plan was we get to trade Jimmy, the shoulder surgery put him behind, and so when Kyle Shanahan says things like, we're most likely going to trade him, but right now that's on hold. Well, that's nothing to do with Trey Lance. I don't feel like it's anything to do with Trey Lance. That's all to do with the uncertainty of Jimmy's health, number one, and number two, there's no one in the discussion right now.
Well, it also has to do with you don't give up assets like that for nothing.
And he's not Baker Mayfield.
No, he's Trent Dilfer. I'll tell you exactly what. And the more I've thought about this, the more, yep. And this ties back into what we said in the first segment of this hour. Everybody always goes to the mediocre quarterbacks that won Super Bowls.
Mm-hmm.
They were all dull as dishwater.
Mm-hmm.
I love Trent Dilfer as an analyst. When he retired, I could not tell you what his voice sounded like. Joe Falco. I know he's really tall. I don't know anything else about him. And I think we're to a point where that can't work anymore. People want to lump Jared Goff in that, and that kind of makes me laugh. Jared Goff was still the number one pick in the draft. Still a talented kid.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. I don't get any of it. This has just been one of those days that's been a grab bag of quarterback news, and every one of them has made me go, wait, what? Just, could you run that by me one more time?
Right. Jimmy Garoppolo, if the right deal is out there to be had, he will be dealt.
And until that happens, you're just in a holding pattern.
And I feel like San Francisco needs to sit and just wait. Do exactly what Kyle Shanahan's saying.
You need to do what Eric Mangini told the Browns to do.
To hold on to it.
He said the Browns – when he said Cleveland needs to do this with Baker Mayfield, he said San Francisco and Jimmy Garoppolo were wrong.
Right. Because I couldn't disagree more with Eric Mangini, who says at some point somebody's going to panic. Somebody's going to be in a time of need, and they're going to offer something great for Baker Mayfield. No, they're not.
As a card-carrying Jets fan, I will tell you right now, Eric Mangini could tell me the sky was blue, and I would go check. We also have a super chat, and I don't actually know what this means. If Tank apologizes to hockey, I will donate a House of Reprehensibles membership. I don't know what any of those words mean. He was talking about apologizing for your slight to hockey because you deride hockey, and you shouldn't because it's wonderful.
Well, I apologize to hockey. You have more than tens of fans.
It's wonderful. It's fun to watch.
It is.
And it's a great beer-drinking sport.
Mm-hmm. It is. So I apologize to hockey.
And now I want to see what that donate a House of Reprehensibles membership thing means. Because I have no idea. I didn't think there was anything in the YouTube world that I didn't know what it was.
Right.
That's one of them.
I take shots at hockey. What can I say?
I take shots after the show. But
tell us something that we don't know. On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville. All right, this one comes to us from Florida. Who's shocked that a weird story comes from Florida? Lots of people love to go fishing down in Florida. There's lots of great spots, especially down in Broward County, where it's mostly water because of the Everglades, right? So they're going fishing, though, this week for something other than fish or snakes or alligators or the other things that you might find in the Everglades. They are fishing for cars.
Fishing for cars?
Fishing for cars.
Not carps?
Nope, not
or
carps.
Carp?
Cars. Drivers descended into a lake in Deerfield Beach Tuesday morning for a special operation designed to find and recover missing vehicles in Broward County waterways. So there is believed to be at least 13 vehicles that are in Broward County waters. Apparently, this is like a mafia hotbed, like of all the retired dons, I guess, from New York. I'm obsessed with The Godfather right now because I've been watching the Paramount Plus The Offer show, which is all about the making of it and how the mafia was like. The mafia was upset that there was a mafia book made, and they were also upset that they were going to make a mafia movie because it might look bad about what the mafia does. So then they wanted to strong-arm Hollywood not to portray them as the exact things that they were doing to everybody who was trying to make the mafia movie. It's hilarious to me. But I've started reading the Godfather book and all of this, and so when I saw Broward County and a lot of retired, mafiosos, I guess, down there, and the fact that they believe that there are more than 13 vehicles down there, a dozen vehicles have been found in the last week submerged. Some apparently have bodies, some do not. Who's really shocked?
Who has this much time?
They've got a great video on local10.com of them pulling a really nice Bentley out of the muck.
Why
down
would
there.
you sink a Bentley?
Well, I mean,
if you're gonna sink a car, it should find a Geo Metro somewhere.
It's like a 1980s Bentley, and I guess stolen vehicle, possibly used in crimes, and it was funny the way the way they wrote it up was the Bentley was pulled out, no body inside. Like they were upset that there was not a body inside of this vehicle. But yes, they have found they have found a dozen cars so far this week, and they believe that there are more down in the waters in Broward County.
Something there's not more of, payphones. It is officially the end of an era. Monday morning, the final public payphone was removed from New York City. There is now nowhere in New York City that you can use a coin-operated payphone. It has gone the way of the typewriter and the dodo bird.
I'm kind of shocked, actually.
They started this process in 2015. It was 2 payphones that were left, and they have been sent to a museum to be displayed forever. They were at the corner of 7th Avenue and 50th Street in Midtown Manhattan. Of course they were, as that's exactly where the last payphone ever should be. They have replaced them with public Wi-Fi hotspots. They're called Link NYC. That's the company that runs them. Mm-hmm. And so basically, instead of a payphone, now you have this gigantic kiosk that has a place to charge your phone. And if you have any kind of device in your hand, you can connect to it and send a call for free. So if you're out of minutes, I don't know if minutes is a thing. It was when I left Verizon. So
I think it still is, yeah.
Maybe. Who knows? Or you don't have any Wi-Fi or you don't have any cell signal. You can connect to this thing, and it will allow you to send free calls as opposed to using the payphone, which now means there are so many people that have cell phones, we don't need payphones anymore.
No. And I thought those days had passed at least 5 years ago.
I'm telling you, the Terminators are coming. We're just like, what was the name of that company? What was the company that tried to overthrow the world?
Oh, I could have told you if you hadn't asked me.
I've never
Star
seen
Gen? Link Gen?
Next Gen. No,
it wasn't Next Gen.
No, Next Gen's the thing. That's what we use.
Yeah. I don't know. It's been so long since Genesis. Was that it?
I don't know. Skynet. Armchair.
There it was. Good for you.
Armchair's just on fire today.
He is. Good for you.
There was a lot of people that got the Skynet thing. I never saw that movie.
Yeah. You never saw any of them?
No.
Good night.
It just didn't move me.
Really?
No.
I thought everybody, our age had seen at least Terminator 2.
Do you see who you're talking to? You can name practically any movie that you think every person is.
Yeah.
We're currently running a poll of my Top Gun call sign. I had to Google what a call sign was. I didn't know what the term was.
Nice.
I had to look it up because I've never seen the movie.
Should have known. I apologize. Really, Terminator 2? That was it's like the greatest blockbuster movie of the 90s.
In the 90s, I was like 6. I was busy with my juice box and the banger that was the Sandbox.
And reading box scores on
and reading box scores. Yeah, I did do that.
Forgot that's how you learned how to read.
I did do that. Apparently, Armchair has both gifted a membership and given it away in the chat.
Boom!
I have no idea what's happening right now.
He's self-sustaining.
You know what? If Armchair went like 500,000 miles away, we'd just set up a chair and have like a little virtual reality presence. Just put him on the Zoom and move him around.
Right. I think that's your next homework assignment. You have to see at least one Terminator movie.
No.
Come on.
No. Any movie that's as old as I am.
And it has to be a sequel, because, look.
Oh, no, I'm super secret out on that. 70-year-old Arnold Schwarzenegger, I will pass.
I'm not saying it has to be the most recent sequel.
Why did the Terminator age? It's a machine. Why did it age?
It didn't really age.
Arnold Schwarzenegger aged. Trust me.
I mean, he looked a little better, but he wasn't in the last few movies.
Then why would I watch it?
Well, because there were other people in those movies.
And I don't care about any of them.
Gosh.
It's like Robert Pattinson playing Batman. I'm out.
But that's one of those franchises where I wasn't wild about the Terminator, the first one. Terminator
all terrible.
T2? T3, Rise of the Machines. Those are really good movies. I mean, for Arnold Schwarzenegger, blow 'em up robot films.
All terrible.
Yeah, I agree to disagree once again. So we got, what else is going on in the NFL? We got the Deshaun Watson thing. It's just, that's up in the air.
It's
we
just
don't know.
hanging out there. I feel like this is one of those times that I think you're going to see that thing I talk about with the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
They're just smarter than these other leagues. They're going to find a way to put a bow on this and move on, I would say, within days. And I'll be honest with you, you call me crazy. You call me conspiracy theory, #birds aren't real guy. Watch them drop this on Friday at about 4:30.
Sure. You do
right before the holiday weekend. Yep. You send it out with the everybody getting out of town for the holiday.
Mm-hmm.
By the time you come back around, we got other things.
Nobody's going to be doing a show on Monday, and if they are, it's going to be the backups on the national shows.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's going to be out partying for Memorial Day or having their long weekends. I mean, this is the same thing happens in government when they want us. When they know something's coming that you're not going to like, they're going to release the latest unemployment numbers. When the economy is terrible, like kind of is right now. The latest inflation numbers. Let's go with that one. They'll be putting that out with the 5 o'clock document dump on Friday before a holiday weekend. Maybe so. Maybe you're right about that. It does kind of shock me, though, that I haven't seen the round-the-clock coverage like I expected.
That's what I've tried to tell you.
From last night's Real Sports thing, you started to go down that path of, this could get bad. This could be really bad.
No. I never got to there's going to be protesters outside of the stadium. Right. That was what I was always vehement. Another won't. The NFL, how the NFL does it, I have no idea.
Right.
But these things that have happened in NBA games, you ever notice that doesn't happen in the NFL? I don't know how they do it. Maybe they pay their security guys more. I don't know.
It's just, of all of the national coverage that I've seen and heard today, there hasn't been that just overwhelming Deshaun Watson talk since what was supposed to, or what was built up to be this big reveal that was coming with the Real Sports interviews with Soledad O'Brien last night on HBO.
And it was, and I'll be honest with you, what I saw of it was very damning.
But we knew this.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing, and maybe that's the reason. There was nothing new that came out of it. All of the things that we saw, you didn't see any actual proof. All you did was put a voice to the things that you've already read.
Mm-hmm.
All of those things had already been reported. And now you're just putting a voice and a face with that. I think everybody was expecting something more groundbreaking. I don't know what they were expecting, but I did kind of expect more coverage of it today, and I haven't seen it.
I do have something groundbreaking. Not to
breaking news?
No. Oh. Well, actually, kind of. You know what? This is probably worthy of breaking news.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
That was actually just selfish because I was late on the button the first time.
Indeed. Armchair Commentary is he's our resident Canadian.
Yep.
And he just broke news in the chat. He lives less than an hour from the Sunnyvale Trailer Park, has served McDonald's to Bubbles, and watched a hockey game in a luxury box with Ricky. You have no idea what it is.
No clue
Trailer
what
Park
those things
Boys
are. Yeah, I've never seen it.
Oh, stop it.
You haven't seen Terminator, and you're mad at me because I haven't seen Trailer Park Boys.
Yes, I am. Because
what part of Trailer Park Boys do you think I would be interested in?
What part of Trailer Park Boys do you not think I would be interested in? Look at me.
I was going to say.
I look like I should have been one of them.
That's where I was going to head with that, but you just hit it right out of the park for me, so I appreciate that. It's time to win some money, hopefully, with the Flowster Thomas. I'm guessing the 5 on it, since the green on green last night went really well. 5 on it went pretty well as well.
That is all right, but the big one got me.
All right, redeem yourself. Here we go.
If you've been playing along since the jump, we started with $500 in this segment. If you followed every bet doing exactly what I said, you would be up $118.74, and I got 3 picks for you tonight. In the NHL and the NBA, first, I got 25 on it between the St. Louis Blues and the Colorado Avalanche. with no Jordan Bennington, I do not see a way that this doesn't go over, and this number has been going up all day long. I don't know that I've ever seen a hockey game above 6.5 as an over-under. If there was ever going to be one, it would be tonight. I got 25 on it, over 6.5. Next, I got over 50 on it, or I got 50 on the over.
I was like, how much over 50?
Yep, went full dyslexia there and read it backwards. I got 50 on it, over 204 between the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat. This game, I think, is going to be higher scoring. That tends to be the ebb and flow of these playoffs, is whatever you think is coming, the exact opposite happens. What you would think is two very injured, very tired teams. This would be an ugly slugfest game. I'm going the opposite way. I got 50 on it, over the 204, and 50 on it, Heat in the money line. They're going to take the 3-2 series lead, and they're still going to win this series like I told you they would.
Take all those wagers to betus.com. Use the promo code Sportsocracy and get a 125% bonus on whatever you put in to your deposit, up to $2,500. See, Armchair, if you'd have told me that you had had dinner with Terrence and Phillip, I would get that reference.
Those are cartoons.
Oh. Yeah.
It doesn't work that way.
Why are all the best things from Canada fake? It's time for something to chew on with
At
Caleb.
Sports Tank ESPN.
With Caleb P.
I'm not going to talk about basketball. Nothing's happened with our team the last 6 hours. We're going to start the same way tonight. Any basketball questions don't matter. I'm so tired of getting up here and offering condolences to the devastated families that are out there. I'm so tired of I'm tired of the moments of silence. Enough.
Steve Kerr, head coach of the Golden State Warriors there. 21 innocent people dead. 19 of them no older than 4th grade, and 2 adults who sacrificed their lives to protect kids whose only crime was counting the final 2 days until summer vacation. This is Chew on That, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. I'm Caleb Peak, and no, basketball is not important right now. This time yesterday, Jeremy Greene and I were talking on this show about how the NBA was dealing with an irrelevance problem because of its lack of star power in the playoffs or something. Little did we know at the time that the second deadliest mass shooting at an elementary school in American history was unfolding in real time. The comparisons between the senseless massacres at Sandy Hook Elementary in Newtown, Connecticut, and now Robb Elementary in Uvalde, Texas, are nauseating. It's gut-wrenching, and it brings the grand total of innocent lives lost during nationally covered mass shootings in the last 2 weeks alone to 32. Yet, basketball plays on. And frankly, why shouldn't it? Canceling a game isn't going to bring those 19 children back to their families. It isn't going to suddenly revive those 2 teachers who began their school day as educators but gave their lives as human shields in a desperate attempt to protect young minds from a coward's bullets. You bow your head in silence for just a moment, and then you put 10 guys on the floor to try and throw a ball through a hoop more times than the other team. Today, it just seems trivial. You want to talk about sports? Let's talk about a 3-on-1. That's how badly the 18-year-old shooter was outnumbered, according to the reports I've seen, when he first tried to access the school. A school district officer was the first to engage. He was wounded by the gunman, shortly followed by 2 Uvalde police officers, and they failed to stop the threat. In the Texas Department of Public Safety's words, not mine. But why? With those odds and that kind of advantage in firepower, how did a single kid armed with a rifle break the crucial line of defense? By the way, all those officers are still alive, and county officials have been awfully tight-lipped about the failure of these sworn men of uniform. Why did it take a tactical federal unit to finally take this kid down? This isn't LeBron James splitting a triple team on the way to the rack. This is serious business. You can't simply take a timeout and regroup once your game plan fails. You must get it right the first time. Oh yeah, this is a sports segment, isn't it? Let's talk about scouting. Or in this case, the lack thereof. Mere days before this latest round of indiscriminate murders, the gunman, whose name I refuse to repeat on these airwaves, posted something odd on Instagram. 2 AR-15s, without much of an explanation as to why. Is this illegal for someone who purchased these guns in accordance with the law? Of course not. Should it have been cause for concern? You tell me. And now it's coming to light that one of the shooter's former classmates at Uvalde High School received disturbing text messages in the days leading up to the brutality depicting an assault rifle, a backpack full of ammunition, and several magazines for said rifle. When he asked the shooter why he had this, the reply came back, "Don't worry about it." Did this friend, acquaintance, whatever he was, did he report this conversation to authorities? Clearly he did not. But now that the tragedy has already occurred, now that innocent blood has been spilled, he wants to go to the media as an anonymous source. This should be a crime, to have intricate knowledge of a highly unusual situation by a kid who had dropped out of school, had been bullied extensively because of his less than ideal upbringing, and showed all the signs of becoming irrationally violent, yet failed to report this? In my book, that's as good as being an accomplice, and he should be prosecuted. You want to talk about sports? Let's talk about this country being down 3-0 in a do-or-die best-of-7 series. We're one loss away from being swept out by an opponent we've never really faced before, and we're down by 20 in the fourth quarter. People want to label this opponent by a million different names. Gun violence, social media, extremism, political gridlock, abuse culture. The list goes on and on and on. But when you look at the scoreboard and see what's really happening, this country is losing the war on insanity. As the rich get richer and the have-nots progressively have less, there's a growing sense of nihilism, especially with recent high school graduates in the 18 to 20-year-old range. There's an overwhelming sense that kids don't want to be a part of the world, but they'd rather watch the world burn. It's a full-blown mental health crisis, all the way up to suicidal activity, and the fabric of this nation can't take much more of it. Our society is built around participation, not wanton destruction. Is it too late to fix this? No, but we've got to start yesterday. We must find pathways to improve mental health across the board. We must recreate a society that provides an incentive for the younger generation to get and stay involved. And as a last defense, we must decide who we're going to allocate our resources to protect. Our schools have got to be on that list. Time is ticking down to stage a comeback from the jaws of defeat, and we sure as hell don't have the luxury of calling a timeout. I'm Caleb Peak. That's something to chew on.
This is your Time Saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow 26 westbound between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. An accident now reported 26 westbound between Brevard Road and I-40. Not seeing any slowdowns or delays here at the moment. Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, traffic volume busy and steady. Smoky Park Highway, no backups. Patton Avenue, problem-free. New Leicester Highway, no delays. Merriman Avenue moving well, and Biltmore Avenue, no problems. Sweeten Creek Road northbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Critics are calling Taco Bell's Mexican Pizza the Musical a scrumptious little number. So tune in for the premiere on TikTok beginning May 26th at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And swing by a participating U.S. Taco Bell location to pick up a Mexican pizza because it's back, folks.
Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs, from quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options. Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Have you ever heard of the yips? What about the twisties? Join me, Justin Sua, for Losing Control, a new podcast about one of the strangest phenomena in sports, the yips, or when an athlete or elite performer suddenly finds themselves unable to do the thing that they do better than almost everyone else on the planet. That's Losing Control, a new podcast from Sports Illustrated Studios and iHeartRadio. Listen to Losing Control on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hurry into Mattress Firm's best Memorial Day sale ever. Get a king bed for the price of a queen or a queen for a twin and save up to $500 on Sealy. Plus, get a free adjustable base with qualifying Sealy purchases up to a $499 value. Or shop Tempur-Pedic, the most highly recommended bed in America, and save up to $500 on adjustable mattress sets in stock for immediate delivery. And get a $300 instant gift. Talk to a sleep expert today, only at Mattress Firm. Restrictions apply. See store or mattressfirm.com for details.
This halftime report was brought to you by Taco Bell's new Toasted Cheddar Chalupa. And now back to the... Hey, any of you guys had the Toasted Cheddar Chalupa?
Ken, we're live.
Has these crispy bits of cheddar cheese toasted right into its flaky shell.
Rein it in, Ken.
And you know they aged the cheddar cheese for 6 months.
Ken, seriously, the second half has started.
And now back to the game.
The Toasted Cheddar Chalupa is back, only at Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell locations for a limited time only. Contact store for hours and participation which vary.
Something you probably do know. Progressive can not only offer you a great price when you bundle home and auto, they offer you round-the-clock protection. Something you probably don't know, the average garage door is made up of 1.3 millimeter aluminum panels. Something you probably do know, your neighbor likes to tinker with his dirt bike. Something you probably don't know, a runaway dirt bike can take out your garage door and a good portion of your car bumper. Bundle your home and auto with Progressive and get more than a great price. Get round-the-clock protection. Something you know for the things you don't know. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers, and subject to policy terms. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
River Ridge Marketplace in East Asheville has been a staple of Buncombe County for generations, and now they're inviting you to their Spring Fling, May 28th from 11 to 4. There'll be food from their great restaurants such as Happy Cinco de Mayo, J&S Cafeteria, and many more. They'll also have sidewalk sales from their amazing vendors, snow cones, inflatables, and a petting zoo for the kids. So join me May 28th from 11 to 4 at River Ridge Marketplace.
The Sportsocracy.
The ceiling is the roof. Let's make it happen. Let's keep moving forward.
All right, back here on ESPN Asheville for just a few moments before we get out of here for the day. And we got basketball tonight. We have Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals, series tied up 2-2. I guess the question has to be, will it be the Miami Heat or will it be the Boston Celtics who get out to a 30-point lead early and then everybody just decides, we don't need this game?
I would just enjoy one game to be even vaguely interesting. Here's what I will tell you, though. This started at Boston minus 2.5. Mm-hmm. It's gone all the way down to Miami minus 1.
That's
which
a heck of a swing.
Which tells me sharps are adamantly on Miami in this. See, that much line movement in one day, that's a tremendous amount of line movement.
The question is, who's going to play tonight? Who's left that's healthy in this series?
Well,
who's the big missing piece?
Well, I mean, the big concern for Miami is, can you score enough points?
Mm-hmm.
You barely have enough offense with Jimmy Butler being perfect. He's far from that.
Mm-hmm.
You just hope he can grit out a game here at home. If I'm Eric Spoelstra, that's the narrative to my team. We have to win 2 games at home. We've been phenomenal at home this year.
Yep.
That's all we got to do. We don't have to go to Boston. We don't have to do any of those things. Protect home court.
Well, they have the home court advantage. They got that by just getting a game up in Boston. So
got it back.
Right, got it back. Exactly. But they got a game in Boston, and so now it's 3-game series. You got 2 at your home place. You know, if this is to go to 7 games, you feel pretty certain, or you feel pretty confident, I guess, about the Miami Heat playing at home in a Game 7. It would be wonderful for that to happen. Marcus Smart, though, I mean, when he's played and he's looked really good, he's been the X factor for Boston.
The narrative that I've heard all day is these 2 teams have played 16 quarters and Boston's won 13 of them.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What do you think the split is in Golden State, Dallas? It's been very clear that Golden State's the better of the 2 teams.
Well, they've controlled the second halves.
It's 8-8.
Is it?
Yeah. Don't worry so much about the quarters. Worry about the final score, because that's all that really matters.
All right, Game 5 tonight, and Jeremy, you're on Miami to cover the spread.
I'm taking Miami.
You didn't take them to cover the spread. You took them in the money line. Right?
Yes, I'm taking them to win outright.
Okay. All right. Game 5 tonight. We'll have all of your coverage from it right here on ESPN Asheville tomorrow at 3 o'clock, and I'm sure there's going to be something else crazy come out from the NFL. We had Colin Kaepernick today getting a workout with the Las Vegas Raiders. Who's going to get that workout? Who's going to be the surprise news of the day tomorrow? We'll be right back here on ESPN Asheville, live from the Ingles Studio.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
We've got some big rains on the Gulf Coast tonight, and they are working up from the southwest. Kind of a tropical feel to the weather patterns this week here in the southeast. We've got some 1.5 inch plus rains advertised for Asheville for Thursday. Heaviest rain Thursday afternoon, lunchtime on. 60 degrees with an isolated shower thunderstorm tonight. Rain and thunderstorms, some heavy downpours Thursday, high 68. Morning showers Friday, 74. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by InvisibleFence.com. Whether you want your pet to have the independence to run and play outside, or you need to correct some mischievous behaviors like digging in the trash, the hands-on trainers from Invisible Fence brand train your pets for you. Visit InvisibleFence.com to learn more. Invisible Fence brand. Surround your pets with care.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slow 26 westbound between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. An accident now reported 26 westbound between Brevard Road and I-40. Not seeing any slowdowns or delays here at the moment. Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, traffic volume busy and steady. Smoky Park Highway, no backups. Patton Avenue, problem-free. New Leicester Highway, no delays. Merriman Avenue moving well, and Biltmore Avenue, no problems. Sweeten Creek Road northbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Discover. With prices soaring at the pump, Discover has your back with cashback. Use Discover to earn 5% cash back at gas stations and Target now through June on up to $1,500 in purchases when you activate. Limitations apply. Learn more at discover.com/rewards.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.